It's time for the Dugout Crew. Brought to you by the David 3000 Network, MVG Productions, and the 25. And now, here is the Dugout Crew.
And play ball and batter up. Welcome to yet another episode of the Dugout Crew podcast here on the 3000 Network. My name is Eric Lima. I do apologize for the delay. My computer decided to go wacky on me. So before it got ejected, I got feedback. I got feedback. Your part, Joey. All right. Weird.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways. Okay. All right. Looks like a lot of conversations going on Joey's part. Well, welcome to the show. And we'll do is bring you some more baseball news. As we know, this is the last episode for August 2024. and we are totally here to do this show. And the crew is back. The full crew, get the full crew back. To my right is Mr. Jesse Ortiz, Jesse Dan Wagoner, Jesse Havoc. What's going on, Jesse? How you doing?
Actually, don't do that right now. I have to shit. Don't do that right now.
Okay. Something weird going on. Jesse, you're frozen again. Oh, no, you're not. Okay. So thank you for coming in. And he's back, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you can hear me or not. What's going on? It's Mr. Joey Acacia. Joey, what's going on? Raven Powers, hello in the live chat. How you doing? And this is getting too crazy for me already. All right. We got some news. Excuse me, man. It's been a long day. I hear a lot of feedback from my end. What the heck is going on?
Come on, damn you.
Oh, there you are. And welcome back.
No, I didn't realize. I messaged you and I'm just like, wait, did the show start?
Yeah, well, what happened was, my computer decided to black out on me. So I had to shut the computer up and reboot it. And then all of a sudden, it's taking too long to get me here. So I was like, great, we're going to have a 5-minute delay or something like that. So I do apologize. Some kind of host I am. David almost forgot to give me all the information.
No, I had to deal with him the other day because him and Danny wanted to do an episode of, I think it was Russian Roulette.
Yeah. We got too much stuff going on. I'm this is crazy. Anyways, I still got some feedback going on from your part. Like if you're here an echo from my part.
Mine?
I think so. I hear an echo. Sorry about this, folks. And
I'm muted and unmuted. Is that better or no?
yeah, it's better now.
Okay.
It's better now. I can go playing Disney Speedstorm. I think I have that game for the Switch. Anyways, let's talk about. Well, let's get the baseball news out of the way because there's a lot going on. The injuries. Robbie Ray has been placed on the 15-day IL with a left hamstring strain. I think Robbie Ray was one of the best pitchers ever. And the Giants also, Jordan Hicks was placed on the 15-day IL with right shoulder inflammation. So
he was the guy throwing like 105 miles an hour, and then he had to have Tommy John. His shoulder must be destroyed.
That's where he gets thrown so hard.
Yeah, no, it's just like, how many times can you throw 100 miles an hour before your shoulder just completely quits on you?
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's really crazy.
Flamethrowers. How's your shoulder inflamed?
Yeah, it's like me trying to arm a fastball. You need to be Henry Rowengartner to throw that.
I know that's the scary part, though. They had a list of people who threw 100+ mile-an-hour pitches this season. Mason Miller, who pitched against the Red Sox, is still number one. He's at close to 400, over 100 miles an hour. He's thrown over 400 pitches at that speed, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy used to be a starter.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember Papelbon used to throw that much,
Yeah, until he fought Harper in the dugout in Washington.
Yeah, I think the Harper just cursed him out. Anyways, let's go to the accomplishments. Shohei Ohtani becomes the sixth player to join the 40-40 club with a walk-off grand slam. And that, I think he's the first Japanese player to pull it off, too, in the major leagues, 40-40.
There's still a chance because Acuna went 40-70 last year. Because we're not into August yet. There'd be 50-50.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes 50-50 this year. And he let his dog Decoy. What a name for a dog!
I know that was the cutest, one of the cutest.
It is
things
cute. It is cute, but one name Decoy probably is an English word he probably understands. Why Decoy? Who knows?
Yeah, no, just run out to the mound with the ball anyway.
Woo! Yeah. I might have taught his dog how to throw a pitch. He probably can pitch better than some of the pitchers right now. Anyway, you never know.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
All right. And Barry Bonds is joining a Hall of Fame, the Pirates Hall of Fame.
The only Hall of Fame you'll ever get in.
I think so. You might be right on that. I think the baseball writers have their way, like they always do.
Well, that's why baseball writers write instead of like baseball.
Yeah. Rafael Devers for the Red Sox, 200 career home runs. Congratulations to him. And here's an interesting story about him. He said he doesn't like being called because he's the only one who's been with the Red Sox longer than the other players have. He does not like being called a veteran. He felt like it was disrespectful. I mean, because he's only 27 years old.
I think it's the age thing.
He's only 27 years old. He's still young.
Who's 31? He just turned 31, and he's been with the A's now 8 seasons. Yeah. They don't have anybody else who's been with the team longer than 8 seasons now. They traded him all away.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got to tell you, the Rafael Devers, I say he's more of a seasoned player for the Red Sox.
Well, you can use that one. You can use that one. I think he'll like that better.
Yeah, seasoned player, and so he, listen, he's only 27 years old. Sky's the limit with Rafi. Aaron Judge and the Yankees did 2 things: 50 home runs this season and 1,000 hits. I'll tell you one thing: it's hard to get him out. When you add Juan Soto, I said this before. You had him, Juan Soto, and Giancarlo Stanton in that lineup along with Anthony Rizzo. Somebody's going to hit a lot of home runs. So far, it's Judge. And I think the only way to beat the Yankees is shut down those 4 players from the offensive side. And that's not an easy thing to do. 50 home runs, I may hate the Yankees as a Red Sox fan, but some of their players I'm very impressed with. And one of them is Aaron Judge. Dude's an imposing hitter.
Well, the scary part is Stanton has more than 150 hits. He's scored over 100 runs already. Him and Soto have both. None of the Yankees are even close. Next closest one is Volpe with 80. But the only reason they've scored more than 100 runs, it's not because of the home run. They both walked over 100 times this season.
Yeah, that offense is, you talk about murderer's row. I think it's a modern day version of it. So that's
Rizzo's out for the year, I think.
Oh, that could hurt.
60-day.
Yeah, that could hurt. That can hurt the Yankees offense a little bit, but
last 2 seasons he's not been the same hitter. He's not.
Yeah, probably not been the same hitter since he left the Cubs. He got traded for the Cubs. So
it's not. It's the post-concussion syndrome and everything. Corey Koski went through with the Brewers. You don't shake that. I've had concussions. It takes a while to shake the cobwebs out and everything.
I feel bad. Anthony Rizzo was the player. He started off in the Red Sox organization before you traded him.
No. I think he started off in San Diego. I think.
No. He started with the Red Sox organization. We traded him to San Diego.
Let me look. Because I'm not saying I would not say you're wrong because you know about this. Yeah, no, he was drafted.
He was drafted by Boston, that I know. But then he got traded to San Diego, and I forgot who we traded him for.
Well, here's a nugget of information for you. The guy he got traded for, one of them pitched last night against the A's. He was involved in that trade 14 years ago. Casey Kelly. He went overseas and pitched in the Nippon Baseball League. He hasn't pitched in America in 6 years. And both Kelly and Rizzo are still active. They're the only two are still active in that trade. Fuentes and Patterson are both haven't played a big game of baseball in years.
Mm. The tough to see who won that trade. Anyways, continuing on, Cardinals Ryan Helsley first to 40 saves. So the Cardinals got a good unknown guy to be a closer. That's pretty good. Pretty impressive.
Well, my question is, does he have a chance? I'm not saying it'll happen because there's not enough chances in September.
Mm.
He'll get to 50 saves at least.
Yeah.
But he's not going to challenge. And I know it's a dawning record now, but so is Bobby Thinkpens. 62 is not going to be touched.
Yeah.
I know that the American League home run record is now 62 home runs.
Yeah.
62 saves. Now that's something that's not going to get touched because I think K-Rod, Frankie Rodriguez, had like 37 by the break. And that was on a 100-win Angels team. Angel. And I bet money on it. If there's an Angels name in there, David might have gotten it wrong.
Could be. Troy Percival's the only closer I can think of from the Angels.
Yeah, no, he was the one who went like this.
Yeah. Troy Percival is probably the most intense player ever on the Angels team and helped them win the World Series in 2002. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, Dusty Baker, I love the guy as manager, but he pulled Russ Ortiz with a 5-0 lead.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have done that.
Well, so here we go. The Cubs have scored 41 runs in their last 3 games. It's the most in the 3-game stretch by any team this season. They passed the A's, your A's, who tallied 39 runs in a 3-game stretch back in July.
That was insane that they even got to the 39 runs because the team's been hot and it's been cold. Baseball has been showing that anything can happen right now. I mean, the A's just passed the Angels for 5th place.
Yeah.
But no, 41 runs in a 3-game set is ridiculous. That's offense pumping on all cylinders.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Seiya Suzuki's probably been leading that offense. Duke could end up winning Rookie of the Year for the National League. You never know for sure.
No, it was him and Yoshida who I thought were both going to dominate the league when they came in.
Yeah.
Because both of them, one's left-handed, one's right-handed, but they know how to play the game of baseball. That's why
yeah.
He's going to get it, at least.
Masataka Yoshida's starting to get a little bit hot, but then he started, it was an up and down type of thing, but he had a tough season with an injury or something like that. Sometimes an injury can hamper your abilities. So we'll see what happens there. Here comes the transactions call-up updates. Nationals 2023 number 2 overall pick. Dylan Cruz will make his debut on this past Monday. I don't know if they won that one. Kevin Biggio, no longer with the Blue Jays, signed a minor league deal with the Giants. That's interesting. And Elias Diaz, we don't walk with Elias. This is Elias. Elias Diaz signed with a minor league deal with the Padres. Jason Hayward, former Cub hero, signed with the Astros. Jess, what do you think about that?
Yeah, he signed with the Astros because he got DFA'd by the Dodgers. He was kind of pissed off about it too, and he didn't talk to nobody.
So I think Hayward with the Astros. I'll tell you one thing, the Dodgers have been winning so much, they probably didn't need him. I know he wanted to be on the winning team, and Astros have been winning too. So
that's actually the second guy that they've gotten rid of in this week because Biggio ended up going to the Dodgers. Kevin Biggio went to the Dodgers, he's not. He's got that pressure of living up to his dad's name.
Yeah, I can imagine.
3,000 hits and everything. He played for Toronto for 6 seasons.
Mm.
He got DFA'd by the Dodgers because he was hitting only 192 with them, and now he's a Giant in their minor league organization. The poor guy. But
I feel,
Hayward's got that massive contract still, I think.
yeah.
I don't think he signed a big contract, but
Hmm.
you don't get rid of Jason Hayward. Jason Hayward's been so consistent. He helped the Cubs get a World Series ring, so I don't know what's going on with them.
Mm.
Well, they demoted Chas McCormick.
Yep, they did. That was the second thing, second piece of news. Chas McCormick to AAA, I think, to make room for Hayward on the roster. So kind of smart. We'll see what Hayward can do for the Astros. I mean, he can. And Hayward's been mostly a National Leaguer
Yeah.
career, but this is his first time being in the American League. So it'll be very interesting. Even obviously now they have both DHs in both leagues now, which I think was pretty cool, to say the least. Okay, now Jordan Montgomery talked about on his free agency. Obviously, Scott Boras kind of butchered it. I'm just trying to move on from the offseason and try to forget it. Scott Boras, more like Bore ass. That guy wants his players to sign $100 million. I think Boras has more care about himself than the players, in my personal opinion.
You want to know how bad that contract is for the? I just looked up Montgomery.
Yeah.
1 year, $24 million. He's worth negative 1.3 WAR right now. He is costing his team. He is worse than Bumgarner was. He's 8-6. Yes, he's got a winning record. In 19 starts, 8-6 ERA over 6.
Damn.
He is the absolute worst pitcher they have. I don't know what it is with the Diamondbacks. I had them winning the division if the Dodgers didn't. But that signing of Montgomery has hurt them bad. Like
Yeah.
the A's beat them 2 out of 3 a couple months ago now. I think it was in June. But Montgomery has not been a good pitcher, and he's getting Bumgarner syndrome. I don't like saying that, but Bumgarner's not going to sign with anybody. I think he's pretty much done. He went back to his ranch. So Montgomery is on pace to possibly be the same pitcher, not in the success realm either. 1 year, $24 million, I believe. Yeah, 1 year, $25 million for the 24 season. They gave him a player option. Do you think he's staying there? No, probably not. I think Arizona's the problem. Let me look at their record. Here's the thing. The A's beat them 2 out of 3 a couple months ago. They are 19 games over 500. They are 76-57. I don't think the problem is that they're a bad team. By no means. Torey Lovello, who was the bench coach for Boston for a while, he was a great guy, and he's a great manager. I think the problem is, and Blake's be damned, because the A's faced him the other day. I don't know who was behind home plate. I think it was Laz Diaz.
Oh boy.
There was Laz Diaz and CB Bucknor. I don't know if you guys saw it, but the A's played a game against Milwaukee. He missed 3 key pitches to 2 hitters. The A's loaded the bases. Langoliers was up. He missed 2 key pitches. One was a strike. 2 of them were strikes. One of them was down and away. It was on the outside corner. He called it a ball. 3-2 pitch. 98 miles an hour from Montas, who used to play for the A's. Inside corner at the knees. Ball 4, walks in a run. The A's end up rallying and winning the game 4-3 in the late innings. I could not believe that he missed that badly.
Anyways. Crazy baseball. That's a crazy sport sometimes. Baseball can be a totally crazy sport.
Yeah.
All right. As you know, the Mariners, who have been struggling, when they fell out first place, the Mariners fired Scott Servais. On how he's this was his response to finding out he was fired via a news alert. When you're part of an organization for 9 years, it was alarming that I found out that way. I can't say it didn't happen. It absolutely happened that way. Well,
He let him do one playoff appearance. I don't think he did much.
Yeah, and I think they felt like they needed to make a change, and they'll probably make a major change in the offseason. Right now, they have the interim manager Dan Wilson.
I don't think they didn't put interim on there. He's their manager right now.
Well, yeah. Well, he's their manager for the rest of the season, basically.
Well, with his history with Seattle, he played 12 seasons there from 94 to 2005.
Yeah, Dan Wilson was in part of
being one of their catchers for the longest time. I think he's going to be I think he's going to get a contract.
If he does get a contract, he'll be their manager for. So it depends on what they do in the offseason. Derek Shelton
back Edgar Martinez to be their hitting coach too.
Yeah, I think Edgar Martinez as their hitting coach. They hired him or they brought him back.
They brought him back, so he's gonna. But
that's gonna help.
Oh, I think so.
That's gonna help.
He killed everybody during his entire career, but he didn't start playing baseball he didn't make it to the majors till he was 27, like Ichiro did. But Ichiro had an established career. Edgar Martinez was a third baseman. Then he became one of the best hitting DHs of all time.
Yeah, and that's going to help. Yeah, one of the best hitting DHs. That's going to help the Mariners to get back on their feet.
Maybe the Red Sox should bring back Poppy and see what happens.
No, they have Veritek, so who knows for sure. Speaking of managers,
to the face this time. No glove to the face.
Yeah, I'm sure A-Rod would probably be happy to hear that. Derek Shelton, the Pirates manager, announced during his pregame presser that Pirates O'Neill Cruz will start seeing time in center field. We'll see if that could help the defense and the outfield defense and all. But
6'7" playing center field.
He can rob a few home runs. He'd be like, "Okay, right here, got it."
Well, that's why. To tell you the truth, I think that's why they have Judge in right field for the Yankees.
Yeah, screw all those left fielders. Okay, right here. I got it. If that's not Shaquille O'Neal on left, that ball's out of here.
Oh, that's Major League 2. I love that movie.
Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker. And he still looks good for his age.
My favorite lines, and I know you really shouldn't swear on this one, is, and he's pitching to Felipe Aguilar, a dangerous right-handed hitter. And a lot of us all three of us have said this at least once, and this is one of my favorite lines. Here's the pitch. Crack. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's out of here. Just a bit outside. That's the popular one. And finally, the White Sox have 31 blown saves and 31 wins this season.
30. I had them, and I kept telling one of my coworkers, take them to lose 100 games. 31 and 103. To avoid the biggest distinction in baseball history, the White Sox have to win 9 games or more.
They're going to have a winning streak in order for that to happen.
Go on the Major League winning streak. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, they just start winning games.
They need a month-long winning streak. They need to win the rest of this month to avoid the 100 losses.
No, 120 is the record.
Oh.
They are 40. They are 17 losses away. Wait, let me look. I know I'm not trying to drag the show, but I'm curious. Yeah, no,
you have not been here quite a while, so we'd love to hear your voice once in a while.
But here's the thing: 45 games back. Everyone was talking about the A's last year finishing 52 and 110. Think about that. The A's finished with 52 wins, and everyone was so upset, and everyone was just like, "Oh, this is the worst team in baseball. What happened?"
Oh, come on.
This season, the A's have won 58 games. They were only supposed to win 57.
Keep talking. I gotta take this.
No, go ahead, Gun. I think about it this way. Such futility is such a sad thing because you lose 103 games. Go ahead, good. That's the scary
People
part.
are driving me crazy today.
No, it's okay, Eric. It's okay. But I think about such futility. The A's are one of the big. They aren't as bad. And I'm trying to remember which team it was. It was the Baltimore Orioles a couple seasons ago. They're the team that got Buck Showalter fired. You want to talk about futility? That Baltimore Orioles team, and we talked about this before, but that Orioles team was so bad it got Buck Showalter fired. And Buck Showalter is normally associated with success.
Right.
He won 45 games with that team, 45 or 47. They lost 115 games a couple of years ago. Now look at Baltimore. Do I think the White Sox were on that track a couple seasons ago when they won and went to the playoffs in 2020? We're in the shortened season. They kicked Rick Renteria to the curb because they thought he was the issue. What's his name? Dylan Cease, they traded to the Padres. Eloy Jimenez is now an Oriole. The only big name left that's not named Benintendi. Benintendi is one of the worst players on that team. They traded Eric Fetty to Washington, I think. I think they traded him to Washington. I'm not sure.
They gave away their best players.
Yeah. He had the highest wins above replacement. He was keeping them afloat. The only one left that's worth a damn is Garrett Crochet. Garrett Crochet is your best bid right now for being their best prospect. But here's the sad part. You still have Luis Robert Jr., who was dangerous when I went and saw him play against the A's last year. He hit a one that went 400 plus feet, and the A's already won the game, but he's dangerous. To let Jerry Reinsdorf, and I don't care what they say about him getting the Bulls all these championships and everything. That's one thing. But the problem of it all, he doesn't know how to make a winning baseball team anymore. 19 years ago was their biggest success for the White Sox in 2005 when they won the World Series and broke the 88-year curse.
Right.
But here's the thing. It's 2024 now, and you have 103 losses on August 29th. No team should be this futile, I don't think the word impotent, but incompetent. There's the word.
Incompetent.
No team should be 63 games under 500, and they've already been eliminated. They are the earliest, and they set a record for doing so. They said it a week or two ago. They are the earliest in the wild card era or the modern era to get eliminated this early. They were eliminated on August 14th. 2 weeks ago, they were eliminated from playoff contention. And then they finally, after they lost close to 100 games, fired Pedro Grifol, or whatever you want to call him. Awful. You can call him Pedro Awful. There you go.
Pedro Groffel. There you go.
Yeah. But he was so bad, and I thought Kotze was bad because they won 60 games, and the A's won 60 games. They won 60 and 102 and 22. They won 52 and 110 last season. They are 58 and 75 this season. They've turned it around to where they have such a positive record right now. They might win 70 games. Yes, they're going to move, but I'm trying to keep the positive here.
I know. It's just amazing me with the White Sox, man. They just hired Barack Obama. He's not doing anything. He's a White Sox man.
Their record is with Grady Sizemore as manager. Grady Sizemore's 3-14. He's 11 under 500, and he's managed 17 games as their manager.
I feel bad for Grady Sizemore. I don't think he's a solution though for the White Sox.
No. And Pedro Grifol was 28 and 89 when he was their manager this season before they finally fired him.
Yeah. And they decided, well, make it worse. We'll have a former major league player manage them and see what happens.
Well, you want to know how good Eric Fetty was for them? He had a 5.0 WAR. He was giving them 5 wins every time he went out there. Whoa. Then Garrett Crochet was their second best. Jonathan Cannon, Chris Flexen, Davis Martin, Jared Schuster, Luis Robert. Like, they've got good, decent players. Gavin Sheets is still there. Eloy Jimenez is gone. Benintendi is hitting .214. Negative 1.7 WAR. That contract is 5 years, $75 million. 242 average. He is not worth that contract. He's getting paid $15 million a year to hit under just barely over the Mendoza line.
For those you kids out there that do not know what that is, Mario Mendoza was a player for the Pirates, a second baseman, I might add. Up to I think he retired in the 70s, I do believe.
Yes, he did.
And he had a career 200 batting average. That's what they call the Mendoza line. Below the Mendoza line, you're hitting under 200. Above the Mendoza line, obviously, you're batting above 200. Those of you very new to baseball?
Euchre was the one who had the career 200 batting average. Mario Mendoza finished with a career 250 batting average, 15 points over the Mendoza line. Funnily enough.
Yeah, that's weird. They should call it the Euchre line instead of the Mendoza line. I don't know why they call it the Mendoza line.
What's even more ironic? Euchre has 10 more career home runs than Mario Mendoza did.
That's crazy.
I think he had 14 lifetime home runs. Mario Mendoza, career slash line of 215, 245, 262 for an OPS of 507. The amount of incompetence in his hitting was so bad. He had one season where he actually had 74 hits, double-digit doubles at 10, 29 RBIs. That year he had 198. That was not his best season. His best season came the year after, where he had 2 home runs. He walked 16 times, so he got his on base to 286. But it was the level of incompetence with just be omnipresent. Be omnipresent, Jerry. Jerry! No,
okay, let's get into our individual teams. And Joey, we're going to have you keep talking because we haven't heard from you in a while about your Oakland Athletics. What's up with the A's now? I know they're in 4th place, which is a good thing for you. Good thing, but how much confidence you got in Oakland? What do you think about your A's?
If they can catch Texas, that would be the epitome of. And I'm sorry, Jesse. I know Texas is coming off a championship, but the fact of the matter is the A's are doing something that I didn't think they'd do. They won the series they lost the series against Milwaukee, yes, but they came out of it clean on the other side. In spite of the fact that they lost 11-3 and then 9-5, they were getting outscored 20-8 at that point. And I thought they were going to lose the game on I think it was the 27th. Yes, the 27th. No, 26th, because they were off Monday. But no, they won. They came back and won that one 4-3, thanks to a little help from Laz Diaz, one of the most incompetent umpires I've ever seen. CB Bucknor was I think it was Buckner. Buckner is terrible behind home plate. And I even posted this on X the other day. I said, CB Bucknor is behind home plate. He's going to win this game or lose this game for either team. Because his consistency is not there. Inconsistency. You look it up in the dictionary, you see him and Laz Diaz. And I'm not hammering them because they're terrible umpires. It's just that. And Scott Berry the other day, he called a pitch from Rowdy Tellez, position player, by the way, in the left-handed batter's box, a strike. Angel Hernandez did the same thing earlier this season. It was terrible. But no, the A's have had their ups and downs and everything. They had a hot July, which I can't explain. That was incredible that they had that hot of a July. No, they're probably not making the playoffs this year, but they are right at their Pythagorean record. 58-75. So they're playing right at where they should be. But they have a young man who they got in the I'm not sure where they got him from. But he's from the Mets. He was part of that he was part of the Chris Bassett trade 2 seasons ago. In March. But Bassett's no longer with the Mets. He spent 1 season with the Mets in 23. 22, I mean. And then I think he went to the Blue Jays. But the A's got Adam Oller, non-factor. But JT Ginn has been that great pitcher that they needed out of the bullpen. They have him and Grant Holman, both young arms, fantastic pitchers. Because Holman, I think they got from the trade with the Braves. So, no, the A's those trades they made, you'd be surprised. Brent Rooker is one of the best players on the A's right now. Well, I wouldn't say you'd be surprised. He's got 4.2 WAR, and he's got 31 home runs and 88 RBIs. He became the first A since Chris Davis several seasons ago now, who had 3 40 home run seasons in a row. He would have had 4, but I don't think he had 4. But still, to have that type of confidence in a player they picked up on waivers from the Royals 2 seasons ago now. He had 30 home runs and 72 RBIs and everything. He's just been hitting the ball everywhere. 285 average from a guy who wasn't hitting the ball out of the infield half the time. He was striking out every time he was up. He's got about 50 walks now. He's struck out a lot, but he's hitting the ball all over the place. Waiver claim that they had, just the greatest waiver claim they could have gotten. But no, JT Ginn is one of the best pitchers that was in the Mets system. He was a starter in the minors for the A's. He had 20 starts, not the greatest pitcher in the world. 97 strikeouts to 40 walks, so he doesn't walk anybody. So far in the majors, he's given up just 1 run in 3 2/3. Today's his first start against the Reds, who the A's are trying to sweep. I know Kevin Henry is somewhere. He's enjoying his engagement.
Yes, congratulations to Kevin Henry on his game. He's a lovely bride. Give him a shout out.
Yeah, he deserves that.
Yes. Amen. Amen to that.
But no, the A's have gotten some good players on their roster. Unfortunately, they just lost their starting left fielder for the season. I think it was a torn oblique. They said it was a core muscle injury, so they pulled him out of the lineup the other day. Come to find out, he's out for the year now. So they lose Miguel Andujar. It was one of the most pleasant surprises they had. He was hitting 285 through 75 games. And even stranger, they had him playing left field this season. He has the most outfield assists ever. Not ever, but he had so many outfield assists, it was ridiculous. Let's see. As of the time he went on the IL, he had just 2 errors in left field. But in 72 games in the outfield, 10 assists, which leads the American League. I just feel bad for the guy because he was getting a second chance he wasn't getting with the Pirates last season. The Pirates had him. He only played 30 games, but he had 250 average. 285, 320, 377. He was 2% better than the rest of the league. 14 doubles, 4 home runs, 30 RBIs, and 86 hits in his. But he was getting on base. He was being a professional hitter, as they keep calling him. But that J.J. Bleday for A.J. Puck trade is looking very good for the A's. Bleday's had a lot of home runs this season. He's got 18 now. But he's been getting on base. He's got 4 hits in his last 5 games. Albeit it's just single-hit games, but he's walking more. That's the best part about him. He's got 2.6 WAR. He didn't have any WAR last season. But no, 241, 323, 55 walks versus 97 strikeouts. J.J. Bleday is going to be a starting fixture in that A's outfield for a long time. The only one who's really affected by this, Esteury Ruiz, who stole 67 bases last season. He's no longer in the A's. But no, Esteury Ruiz is being replaced by someone just as good, if not better. Lawrence Butler. They call him the Law Dog. Not like McGriff, the Law Dog, who used to be for the Dodgers, the Braves, the Rays, all those great teams, the Cubs. But Lawrence Butler has shown that he's a complete player after being called up last season. The A's have an outfield that they can trust now. If they can get Miguel Andujar to come back. And they've got a solid backstop in Shea Langoliers. But I'll give this much. The A's rotation is not what it was at the start of the season. Hogan Harris has come back up. They trade away. They didn't trade anybody away from the rotation. Their bullpen, they got rid of Urseg. Urseg, since being traded to the A's, away from the A's. Hurt my heart a little bit because I know the guy personally. I think the guy is a wonderful human being, very kind human being. Kansas City, ever since he's been with Kansas City, he has given up He gave up his first earned run in 13 1/3 last night in a loss. Prior to that, he hadn't given up a run. He had given up maybe a couple hits. He had dropped his ERA 0.8. It went from 3.68 to 2.88, and that was even though he gave up the run last night. He's doing something for a Kansas City team that's in it now. So, yeah, no, that trade helped the A's, helped Kansas City. I wish the guy the best. But the guy they got, Will Klein, he's pitched 8 games. In his time with the A's, in 3 games, he gave up 5 earned runs. So that's one of those things. But no, the A's have turned their rotation around. Blackburn got traded to the Mets. They go and rough him up in New York. I'm not sure who they got in return. I can check right now. Cade Morris. Young 22-year-old, 3rd rounder in the amateur draft. So far with Lansing, he hasn't been the greatest pitcher. But he'll get there. He'll turn it around. But the A's, their rotation, they've really changed around. Ross Stripling got moved to the bullpen because he's 2-11. He's 2-11. And they signed him and they got him in a trade for the Giants. I hope he's gone, to be honest with you. Because he's good out of the bullpen, but he's not great. But no, the A's have had an island of misfit toys for players. And I'll say that
King
much.
Moonrazer is their manager, right? King Moonrazer.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He's good, not great. Kotze.
Oh,
He played for Boston briefly. I remember correctly.
yes, he did.
But the A's have got their island of misfit toys yet again. And they've said it multiple times on the radio, and I know most teams don't have this dynamic. But they're having fun in spite of the fact that they're not winning as many ball games. You want to have fun playing baseball. And the A's are doing that. Like, they've got young talent. Joe Boyle, young talent. Yes, he's walked a lot of guys, but that's just that. Joey Estes is 6-6 on the season. He's had multiple starts where he's gone late into games, and he's been fantastic. He's over 100 innings pitched this season. The A's have 3 pitchers over 100 innings pitched, and they're getting there. Estes is phenomenal. Only 8 hits allowed per 9. J.P. Sears, 10-9, ERA of 4 1/3. But that's only because he's been roughed up a few times. Not all of that is on him. His offense hasn't been the greatest on occasion. But the one guy I give a lot of credit is Osvaldo Bido, who ended up coming over from the Pirates. I think they got him off waivers too. I'm not quite sure. He might have been traded. No, they got him as a free agent. In the time he was in the minors, because I actually watched him pitch back in May when I went to the Coliseum for that doubleheader. He was very talented in the time that he was on the mound. Unfortunately, a blister injury caused him to leave the game early, and then it got way out of hand. But 5-3, he got the no decision the other night because the A's bullpen blew up. 5-3 in 8 starts. 5-3, 14 games, 8 starts, 56 strikeouts. He's averaging 9 strikeouts per 9 since he's been moved to the rotation. He is going to be great. He is a young man. He's 28. Him and I are the same age. I'm actually exactly 2 weeks older than Oswaldo. He was born on October 18th. I was born on October the 4th. So, but no, 28 years old. You find your diamond in the rough. You get him from the Pirates, who could really use some pitching right about now. He went 2-5 with them. He's half the ERA and everything. He's fantastic. But no, the A's are getting there. And the one person I haven't talked about yet, actually, there's 2 of them. Tyler Ferguson, 30-year-old rookie out of the minor leagues, 10 seasons, long time in the minors. He's come out of the woodwork, 3.5 ERA in 34 games. At 30, this man's never pitched in the major leagues. And he has pitched in every single win the A's have had recently. The 19th, the 22nd, the 25th, the 27th, and the 28th. All of them he's pitched in, he's been winning in. He's been in the minors on and off since 2015. He didn't play from 2019. He didn't pitch. 2020, he didn't pitch. Comes back with Atlanta, pitches a couple seasons. Comes back with Arizona last season. Did not pitch well. He pitches in 26 games in the minors for the A's, on and off this season. 30 years old, and they picked him up. It's been fantastic. Mason Miller. I'll get to him right now. Talk for too damn long. I'm losing my voice. I get no respect around here either.
No respect at all. No respect at all. Yeah, I'll tell you.
I was playing with my yo-yo. It ran away. But no, Mason Miller just tied one of the A's rookie records. Not for the saves in the season, because I met Andrew Bailey, who's now the pitching coach for the Giants, I think.
No, Red Sox.
He's now with the Red Sox.
Yeah.
I got his autograph, and I told him 15 years ago when me and my dad went to the ballpark in 2009. This is when the A's had Matt Holliday and the whole garbage thing with him. But that was on Mug Root Beer Float Day, and I wish they still did this. They stopped doing it a long time ago. But you used to be able to go get a Mug Root Beer Float. I'm not sure what type of root beer they drink over in Boston and in Texas. But you used to get a couple scoops of ice cream, get your own A's mug, and they give you a straw for free with the purchase of an A's ticket. You used to be able to go watch batting practice right after that and meet the players down on the field. Not down on the field, but you'd be able to go and sit by the bullpen and everything. I met Andrew Bailey and Gio Gonzalez that day. Very nice people. But I got his autograph, and I told Andrew Bailey, you're going to be the Rookie of the Year this year. This was back in June of that year. He went on to be the 2009 Rookie of the Year. 26 saves as a rookie was insane back then for the A's. Mason Miller has tied Houston Street, who was the Rookie of the Year in 2005 for the A's, because they had Crosby and they had Street be Rookie of the Year back-to-back. I think the A's have had the most Rookie of the Years in MLB history, but I'm not sure. But Houston Street had 23, Bailey had 26. If Mason Miller gets to 30 saves, I sign that up that he's Rookie of the Year for the American League. Because over 400 pitches at 100 miles an hour or more after a UCL injury as a starter last season, I believe he's that good. Yes, he struggled the other night against the Reds, but ERA just over 2. They have him arbitration eligible for another 2 seasons. He's not a free agent until 2030. The A's know what they have. This man, they drafted him. 3rd round of the 21 amateur draft. No, and he was not the greatest pitcher in the world. He's had to overcome a massive obstacle in his life. He's a type 2 diabetic. And he found that out because he ended up having an issue, and then he had to take time off and everything. And now he's controlling it. Every time he goes to a opposing team's ballpark, there's kids that are type 2 diabetics. They come up to him and they talk to him. Mason Miller is a stand-up person. Not a stand-up comedian there, Eric, but stand-up person. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I think he's fantastic. I think he's a great humanitarian to be with these people as long as he's been. And he's talking to him and everything. He's being such a nice guy. I think Mason Miller's just going to earn it by his humanitarian work with these kids. But that's all I have to talk about for the A's. They got a 30 home run hitter. They've got great starting pitching. Estes is 22 years old. He was part of that Langoliers or Murphy trade. 22 years old. You got Mitch Spence, who was a Rule 5 guy from the Yankees. He's 7-9, but he's throwing work in there because Alex Wood's out for the season. The A's lost Luis Medina for the season. Ross Stripling, inconsistent and not winning ball games for them. They traded Blackburn away, but Sears, Joe Boyle, Hogan Harris, who was a good fill-in, Joey Estes, Mitch Spence, Oswaldo Bideau. They had a full rotation for as late as May, early May. They had a full rotation until people started getting hurt left and right. This A's team is going to be good in the future. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be rooting for them when they go to Sacramento. But they have a bright future ahead of them. So when they finish out this season, and everyone's going to wonder who one of the biggest surprises in baseball is, it's not going to be one of the biggest disappointments. It's going to be one of the biggest improvements because this A's team is not going down without a fight. And when they go to Texas next week, Texas better hope they win those games because the A's are on their ass and they are that close. Because the A's are currently 58-75. Rangers, they are 62-71. 4 games separates the A's from the Rangers. And I think I was going to be talking about this when they were 17-17. They went on a massive slide. The A's are 17 under 500 right now. This is just the second time they've been this good this season. I'm not saying it to be detrimental, but there's something going on in Oakland right now. Also, they've set a demolition date for the Tropicana. It's 4 days after my birthday in October.
Here comes the X. Here comes the Smasher. The demolition.
I knew where that was going. I just wanted to let it play out. But
I don't want Romy to come in here going, no singing.
no singing, no wrestling.
No singing, no act. Well, kick your stick and take that. I've always liked when Smash says that. Well, I kick someone's stick and take that. Always.
I know, but there's the thing. He doesn't remind me of Boss Man. He reminds me of King Kong Bundy.
Yeah. Anyway. So Oakland's a young team. We'll see what happens in the future for them.
Well, I'll give I have one last thing, and then I'll shut up. But Seth Brown, 31 years old. No, 32. He just turned 32. Had a 2-homer game yesterday to save the A's asses because they were up 5-0. Badeau had thrown a perfect game through 5 and until almost the 5th inning. They were up 5-0 going into that 7th inning. After another 2-run out rally, they gave up 6 runs. Badeau gives up 2. Badeau gives up 1. McFarland gives up 2. They bring in Otanez. Otanez gives up a 3-run homer. They are down a run. Then all of a sudden, the offense starts getting in there. Seth Brown hit a 3-run homer. He had his second home run of the game. 32 years old. He's been playing for the A's since, I think, 2018 or 2019. 2019. He's only been on the team 6 years. He's the longest tenured A's that's currently there. Only 6 seasons on the Major League roster, and he's now the longest tenured one. He's only got 12 home runs this season, but he's picking it up. 24 walks, 90 strikeouts, 229 average. He's better than he was last season. I'll give him this much. When he got called up, he was great. He slowly declined, but I know I give Seth Brown a lot of crap, but he's saved the A's more than a few times in his time on the roster. 32 years old. He's probably not even be on the team next year. I give the man a lot of credit. Saved the A's ass once again. 32 years old, and he's not going to be even on the roster next year if they tender him.
All right.
It's going to suck because I'm going to that last game, and they officially said it's going to be a sellout. The last home game the A's will ever play, and it's going to be sold out. They aren't going to. They are trying. Everybody, and I mean this in the most wholesome way possible. They're getting trying to get about 200 volunteers to open up Mountain Davis and clean it out so they can sell out the stadium. I will cry, and I will actually cry tears. I will find a way to get a video, and I will go turn myself so everybody can see the video of the stadium. I want to see that bitch full. Excuse my language. I want to see that place full of fans. I want John Fisher to see what he's done, what his incompetence, and yes, I can say that this time, his incompetence, his frugalness, his penny pinching, his bullshit has done to this team. Because this is not the A's that I grew up watching. This team in 20 years has been taken from one of the best fan bases in baseball by ownership and turned into one of the most least seen teams of all time because they can't seem to keep anybody that's worth watching. Right now, they are one of the most watched teams in baseball, in my opinion. Because I said it last season before the postseason. Watch out for the teams that aren't good. They will screw you in the end.
All right. We're going to go overtime because +1, I started late because of the stupid computer thing. 2, we haven't heard from Jesse yet. Talk about his Astros. Let me give a couple more shout outs in live chat. Godfather Dom, Dominic Williams, and William Jason Soto, which your comment's pretty strange. Imagine everyone in the state of Connecticut, cornea to their eyes closed. Okay, as Bull Shannon would say on Night Court. Jesse, what about your Astros, my man? What's going on with them?
Well, we've only won 2 of the last 2 series. We managed to beat the Philadelphia Phillies 10-0.
Wow, that's a huge deal.
After Yordan Alvarez belted 3 home runs.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Tell you something. Watch out for him.
And Spencer Argretti carried a no-hit bid into the 8th inning. Manager Joe Espada wanted to lead off his post-game comments, talk about Jose Tuve's steal of home plate. But I think the big news is that Hayward guy coming to the Astros.
Yeah, Hayward is a huge deal for them. So
the Houston Astros picked up a veteran bat that was just put on the market, but he might not have been too happy about leaving his old team. Jason Hayward was recently let go from the Los Angeles Dodgers. According to a former teammate, he stopped talking to almost everybody. I don't think he's talking to anybody. I mean, would you guys be wanting to talk if you got fired from your job? I've had 3 text messages, and that's 3 more than a lot of other people said. Dodgers first baseman Freddie Freeman per Mike Giovanna of Los Angeles Times. Hayward is a player that always been known to be an outstanding teammate. So this was likely out of emotions of being traded rather than actually being upset at any of them. He's a 15-year veteran, and this is his first time being traded in the middle of the season. So it's likely a lot to process. The last time he was traded traded at all was nearly 10 years ago when the Atlanta Braves sent him to the St. Louis Cardinals. Having a chip on his. Okay, this is misspelled, so you forgot the ER at the end. Having a chip on his shoulder could end up helping the Astros in the long run, as they'll need him playing at a slightly higher level than he has been to make a real impact on the club. The 34-year-old is not far off from playing great baseball, so the belief that he still has some juice isn't completely unfounded. He had a 269, 340, 473 slashing line for Los Angeles last season, cranking 15 home runs and driving in 40 runs. It wasn't an everyday role, but he did play most games. His usage dropped a lot this past season with it, so he did his numbers. He's put up a disappointing 208, 289, and 393 line. The slugging numbers are a bit intriguing and could have been what piqued Houston's interest. He did hit a 3-run home run in his last bat at the Dodgers. So, I mean, will he be another Jose Abreu? Hope not.
all right. So that's it for your Astros?
Yeah, that's it for my Astros.
All right.
I don't think the Astros picked up a bad player because Abreu is much older than Hayward. Hayward is only 34, I think.
I muted your mic, Joey, because the background noise and everything else. I don't want to, disrespect your family or anything like that. So that's why I muted your mic. But,
No, I understand. But I think Jason Hayward is a great pickup for the Astros because he's helped be a veteran now in his older age. No, he's not the same player, but I think the Astros are going to get themselves a great pickup. And outfielder DH, he will be there as a veteran voice in the clubhouse. I know Rafi Devers is just like, don't call me a veteran. But Jason Hayward is a veteran. He's been doing this for 14 seasons now. In 2010, he had a home run against Carlos Zambrano, of all people. But no, he's not what I would call the worst player in the world. But yes, he has gotten older and declining. But I think he will be fantastic for the Astros. That's just my piece.
Yeah, I think he helped the Cubs win the World Series 2016 by making that speech during the rain delay. I think he can help the Astros out here. If not with the batter or defense, you probably do it being a clubhouse leader and a veteran. So that's it for your Astros there, Jesse?
That's pretty much it.
All right, I want to go quickly here with the Red Sox here. Red Sox, I'll tell you what, they're kind of ebbing and flowing for the time being. We don't know, but they gotta do something September. We're at the end of August right now. And let's back. The Astros took 2 or 3. Actually, the Red Sox took 2 or 3 against the Astros. Astros won on a walk-off, and like I said, they had but then come back home, they have a tough time winning at home. That's what the Red Sox needed. Usually they say home cooking is the best thing. Has not been, unfortunately. And the Diamondbacks, who are showing us why they are the NL champions, the defending National League champs, swept the Red Sox this past weekend. This past Friday, 12-2 last week, 4-1 Saturday, 7-5, and then they run to the Blue Jays. Now, as you know, Danny Jansen has made Major League history by becoming the first player in Major League history to play for both teams in the same game. Now, how did that happen? Well, they played the Blue Jays back, was it June or a couple of months ago? The game got rained out. And he was playing for the Blue Jays at the time. Once they traded him when the game resumed this past Monday, he played for the Red Sox. And that's when history has been made. So you got that. And so the Blue Jays beat the Red Sox that game 7-3. And then you got, the next 2 games, the Red Sox won 6-3, and the Red Sox, which Brian Bayo last night had one of the best one of the best games of his career, pitching like 8 shutout innings. Kenley Jensen finished it off. They shut out the Blue Jays 3-0. That's a huge deal. So we got another game tonight against the Blue Jays. Then to end August to start September, Labor Day weekend, we got the Red Sox are on the road against the Tigers and the Mets for a 3-game series each team. Then they come back home against the hapless White Sox. We should beat the White Sox at home. But then the Orioles are going to be coming to town. They're going to give us a problem, obviously. And then, this ought to be fun. So this September 11th, they're playing against the Orioles. September 11th will be 23 years since that horrible incident happened. We're not going to go into that. And the Red Sox will meet the Yankees once again 2 weeks from today. You know what the fun part about it is? That is when the Marvel vs. Capcom Funny Collection is coming out on digital for the Nintendo Switch. So you got Marvel vs. Capcom, biggest rivalry in video game history, Marvel vs. Capcom, Red Sox versus Yankees, biggest rivalry in baseball history. Anyway, we got a 3-game series against them, and then we got the Rays. So against the Yankees and Rays, definitely against the Orioles, Yankees, and Rays, that's 3 straight American League East teams. This could be the most important 9-game, 4-game series against the Yankees, 3 at 7. The most important 10 games. Because the Red Sox get a winning streak going. It's hard to win against those 3 teams. Sometimes the Rays could be a pest to the Red Sox. Yankees and Orioles have been a pest to the Red Sox this season. If you think about it, if the Red Sox string off these kind of wins, especially against the Tigers and the White Sox and the Mets, if the Red Sox can pull some kind of win streak off that and pull, who knows? They could end up winning American, but I don't know. I really don't know. Let's see what. But here's the crazy part: the Red Sox, they required Rich Hill And I think he's pitching for them, I believe, tonight. For I think the 8th time, Rich Hill will be playing for the Red Sox once again. Who knows what he can do? He's done some wonders for his age. And Trevor Story might be could be rehabbing following Labor Day weekend. A shoulder injury could have ended his season, but they're going to start a rehab assignment sometime early next week. That could be a big, big freaking deal for the Red Sox. And it's amazing. It amazes me. It amazes me how, as you know, and then there's another thing. Sea Dogs broadcasters, who are females, by the way, did Emma Tideman and Riley Pay call Monday night's game against the Blue Jays and the Red Sox on Nesson. So, and this is the first time ever, time ever an all-female, so history has been making an all-female doing broadcasting, even an inning for a game. So, so they were calling the Sea Dogs, and this is the first major league game they'd called. So this is double history has been in the making. I think ever since Christian Casas came back to the team, though, he's been phenomenal. And actually, so oldest player in the major leagues, right? Fenway Park Tuesday, helped salvage the Red Sox season. So that is crazy. So James Paxton on the DL with a calf muscle. Lucas Sims on the injured list. Lucas Sims and Luis Garcia are going to be injured as well. That's why their bullpen has not been doing very well. Yeah, so he's going to be in the bullpen right now. So because of the fact that so this is going to be a big, big thing. I think the bullpen's been a big problem for the Red Sox. And ever since Tristan Casas came back, he's been hitting the cover off the ball. His oblique is fine. But will it be with Trevor Story coming up, will it be too little too late? We don't know. We still have September. It could be. We'll find out. So let's check the standings quickly. I know the fact that I promise we're going over time because my computer screwed up on me the first time. We're going to go to the American League East. So I can say the Yankees are in first place, 78-56. One game ahead of the Orioles, 77-57. The Red Sox, 69-64, 8.5 out. Rays, 66-67, and one game below 500, 11.5 out. And the Blue Jays, 65-70, 13.5 out. Central, the Guardians, first place by a game at 70 over the Royals at 76-58. Royals 75-59. Twins 72-61, 3.5 out. The Dodgers 68-67, 8.5 out, and the White Sox 31-103. Good grief, free gravy, McGee. 45 out, obviously eliminated. Your Astros, Jesse 71-62, 3.5 ahead of the Mariners 68-66. The defending world champ, the Rangers, 62-70, 1-9 out. And Joey, your Oakland Athletics are 58-75, 13.5 out, and the Angels 55-79, 10.5 out. Quickly to the National League, the East, the Phillies, 78-55, 5 games ahead of the Braves, who are 73-60. The Mets are 69-64, 9 games out. The Nationals 61-73, 17.5 out, and the Marlins 48-85, 30 out. Meanwhile, the Brewers, despite the fact that Christian Yelich is out for the season for the team, at 76-56, 9.5 games ahead over the Cubs, who are 68-66. The Cardinals, 66-67, 10.5 out. The Reds, 63-70, 13.5 out. Despite that, again, Kevin Henry, congratulations on the engagement. Pirates, 62-71, 14.5 out. And then we got the Dodgers, 79-54. Three games ahead of the Diamondbacks at 76-57. Padres 76-59, 4.5 out, 4 out. Giants even at 67-67, 12.5 out, and the Rockies 50-84, 29.5 out. So we're gonna go to the wild card standings in the Major League, MLB wild card. wild card standings, and we're gonna go. We're gonna go to the wild card standings. Come on, come on, come on, come on. All right, you got the Yankees, the Guardians, the Astros, the Orioles, Royals, and Twins have each a wild card spot in the playoffs right now. Red Sox though are 3 out of the wild card spot, so beware on that. So right now the Dodgers got the best record in the major leagues at 79-54, followed by the Phillies and the Brewers. The Diamondbacks, um, Padres, and Braves got wild card spots at the playoff start right now. But the Mets are 4 games behind in the wild card spot. So that is yeah. What's going on? So I am, like I said, it's anybody's ball game. Is this Ray? Dodgers got the best record ever, and so see what. No surprise there because they're that good. So we'll see what happens. Well, that's it for today's episode. Like I said, we went a little over time because my computer was acting up a little bit, but everything's straightened out and everybody's interrupting me, screwing me, and all that good stuff. But it's great to see you, Joey, once again. Thank you for coming on, Joey. I know it's been tough on you for the past 10 weeks. I know having a job and everything else, that's understandable. But it's always great to hear you and hear your stats, take on the stats. And I want to thank you, Joey, for coming in. So, thank you, Joey, for coming in. Jesse, once again, thank you, sir, for coming in.
Always.
Always appreciate your take on the Astros, who are doing very well. And I think, like I said, with Jason Hayward and the addition of him, that's going to help the Astros definitely. You got a veteran presence right there, and some of the Astros players probably know him. And like I said, when he motivated the Cubs in 2016 during that rain delay, that helped them win the World Series, helped them break the curse, and that was a total awesome feeling. I want to thank Raven Powers, Godfather Dominic Williams, and William Jason Soto. Is he related to Juan Soto? I don't know. But anyways, wait. So thank you for coming in the chat and trying to interact with us, even though William Jason Soto has said something that doesn't make any sense. So I don't know why he says that. And we're not in the state of Connecticut. But anyways, Connecticut should have a Major League Baseball team, in my personal opinion. But anywho, so I want to thank everybody. Joey, you back on. We're about to end. You got any last words? Thank you for coming.
I will be back next Thursday.
Excellent.
I will be back next Thursday.
Excellent. All right. So we want to thank everybody for coming. Joey, thank you. Welcome back. And Jesse, thank you. So that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed day. As you know, tonight on the Brandon Martin channel, Rant and Rave, join me and my other and Brandon Martin and Jordy Scow. We're going to have Chayton Long, our guest, as well, joining us. So check us out on the Brandon Martin channel tonight at 8 for Rant and Rave, episode 255. We have lots to talk about there. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed day. And remember, let everything in your life hits a home run for you. See ya. Goodbye. Bye.